guys, welcome back to another chess video. This is Amit here, and today I'll be showing you all a game in which queen sacrifice is going to take place.
Oh my god! Wow!
Yeah, queen sacrifice in the game of Gligoric versus Rosenstein. Yeah, the game opens in an interesting manner. White plays e4 and d4 and knight f3 and knight c3, and black goes f5 in order to exchange the pawns and challenge the center. So this game is going to be interesting, so don't forget to watch the video till the end. So let's begin with the game. White plays e4, knight c6, knight f3, d6, d4, f5. Now here the idea is black is challenging the center from the king side pawn storm. It is f5 is played, and he is challenging the e4 pawn, whether he will be taking the e4 pawn or he is not going to take the e4 pawn. So here white doesn't take the e4 pawn. Gligoric is white and he doesn't take the e4 pawn, and he plays knight c3. So knight c3 is played, and here black captures the e4 pawn, white captures with the knight, and knight f6 is played. And now here knight f6 is not that usual move. Instead he could have actually played bishop to f5 and developed his bishop with bishop f5. Then bishop may go to d3 or something, or he may even play knight g3, pushing the bishop back to g6. But here he played knight to f6, and hence in this position white captured the f6 square, because now if g captures f6, then all the light squares are going to be weakened at this point. So he couldn't take it with g6, and he captures back with e pawn to f6. So in this position it's already weakening for black, because all the light squares are open, and white still has the light square bishop, and it's going to be weakening for black. So here he pushed the pawn to d5, and here black played knight to e5. Knight to e5 at the center of the board actually is preferable, because in this position only the f2 pawn can push the knight back to either d7 or f7 or g6. So white played knight to d4. He didn't want to capture the knight, and his idea was to push the f4 pawn in order to push the knight back. So queen e7 is played.
NANI?!
Threatening a discovered attack. If white plays some casual move like bishop to either this bishop to f4, then black plays knight to f3, and it's going to be a double check, and it's a mate. So he cannot play a casual move, so he played bishop to e2. So bishop to e2, for bishop to e2 he pushes the pawn to c5, so pushing this annoying knight or this annoying pawn. So here he took the pawn, and c captures and double O. Now queen c7 is played, because next he wants to develop his bishop to e7 and quickly castle before white gets his rook to e1 and f4 comes soon. So he played queen to c7, but anyways f4 came, and he played knight to f7. Knight to f7 is a very passive move, so he dropped his knight back to f7. So bishop f3 is played, threatening to take on the c6 square. And now if there is a threat, if d5 is played, then knight can simply take the piece, and queen takes the piece, and rook e1 is played. And now bishop here, then bishop takes the pawn, and it's going to be rook up, exchange up. So instead of playing d5, he took his knight back to d8. Once he took his knight back to d8, he is already in a passive position, and rook e1 is given check. Now bishop e7 has to be played, so he played bishop e7 and queen e2 is played, attacking the bishop twice. Now he cannot simply castle because the bishop on the e7 is actually attacked twice, and queen takes the bishop, so he cannot castle. And even if he comes to f7, then knight takes the pawn. Now if knight takes the knight, then bishop can give check, or he can even take the piece, and queen takes the bishop, and queen to e7 can also be played. And interesting move is bishop check and pushing the king back and attacking the black from king side. So this attack is going to be severe. So once he plays king to f8, it's very difficult for him to recover from that. So instead of that, he played d5. So now bishop cannot capture and knight cannot capture the c6 because knight captures back on the c6. So in this position, white tried to clamp the black king side. So he played f5 in order to clamp the black's king side. Well, because he wants to prevent the activity of the bishop on the c8, so he clamps, and also he wants to develop his bishop to f4, so he clamped the black king side. And in order to prevent the bishop f4, white also wanted to develop his bishop, so he pushed the pawn so that f4 can be freed. So now after f5, black plays bishop b7. Now you can in this position white played bishop to f4. Now black cannot capture the bishop on the f4 because there is a mate threatened, so he cannot capture the bishop on the f4. So queen d7 had to be played. Now bishop to h5 was played because he wants to give check and prevent the castling of the king. Now with g6, it is too weakening because f into g6, h into g6 may threaten mate in a few more moves. So he prevented that move and he played bishop to h5. Now king f8 is played. So now here you can pause the video in order to find out the winning move for white. Yeah, the winning move for white here is queen captures the e7. So here white sacrificed a piece already. That too, the queen is sacrificed, and now if queen takes the e7, now again there is another brilliant move by white. You can pause the video. Yeah, the winning move for white is queen to d6, bishop to d6. Now queen has to capture this bishop on the d6, and if it is not captured, then white himself captures the e7 queen. So he had to capture the bishop, and now simply mate in one, which is the move rook to e8. So Gligoric won this way, an interesting mating pattern, so I thought I would share with you guys. Yeah, see you all in the next video. Bye.